Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is episode 6 in this series where I am customising a Gibson Epiphone Les Paul Special 2LE, that's a mouthful, into an alien. This is where we've got so far. In the last episode I cut the eyes out and we are looking at putting some lights in there with an on-off switch that I'm hoping to put into the control cavity there. Today what I want to look at is cutting out the cavity for the 9-volt battery that I'm going to have to install to power said lights, and then we're going to have to look at reassessing this rear control cavity because there's not going to be enough space in there currently for me to put the on-off switch, because I'd like to have the on-off switch added to the selection of knobs that you have on the front so that you can power it while you're playing, you know. So yeah, we're going to do that today. If it's the first time you've been to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and give the video a good thumbs up. Right, let's crack on with it. Right, so one of the first things we've got to address is how we're actually going to make this sit in the body. Because as you can see, it doesn't actually have any like tabs so that you can connect it. And one of the first ideas I had was to potentially glue a separate piece of plastic to the bottom like so. Then make 2 screw threaded bits in the plastic so that I could then attach it to the top of the guitar and then screw into the thread, which would then pull that up to the hole that I would then create for this whole section here. Now the other idea I had, I looked at these 2 little screws, and when you undo them, which I'll do now, right, so with the screws out, you're left with this. So my other option was to cut a hole for this little switch here on the top of the body, and then place this to the rear of the body, and then have this sitting on top. So the issue is that we're going to be left with this little space here. As you can see, it's only about, well, it's already about 3 mils thick. So if I have that 3 mils there, then with the space of the top of the this little bit here, I'm not actually going to be able to touch the switch. So that's kind of out of the question. I think my only option is to do that exact same process but without this little piece. So chuck that away, and essentially all you're going to see on the top of the body is a little tiny rectangle where this little switch will be that you can go up and down, and that's all you're going to see. And then that box will be in the back cavity, which I'm going to enlarge in because I can't fit it in there at the moment. Then we'll put the screws through if I don't throw them away and lose them because they're absolutely tiny. Yeah, we'll just put the screws through either side of the switch. So to do that, I've pre-made a template out of MDF that I can stick to the back of the guitar body, which I'll bring you around here to see. Yeah, so I can stick that to the back of the body. And what we have here is a 2-part template. So we have to have a little lip here for the plate, the cover to sit on, and then be able to screw into it. That's why we've got these little extra pillars poking out here. So what I need to do is, I've got the first one lined up for the lip, and that's what we're going to cut first. So I need to line that up with there, line that up with there, and then here I've created a new pillar for a 3rd screw to go in. So right, I'm going to set my router up and we're going to route out this first bit. Okay, so we're just going to do our usual masking tape and super glue technique to stick our bit of MDF template down, which I will now do for you very quickly. 3, 2, 1. Right, now that I've got my template on, I'm just going to get out my router, sort my router bit out, get down to depth, and then we're going to crack. Right, so now you can see I've managed to cut in and extend the size of the cavity so that we can fit our switch in here. I might try even see if I can fit the battery in there as well, but if not, I'm going to make a battery cavity next to it there. Next thing I need to do is to use a different template to lower like a 5mm radius around here, just so that we can put the plate on after and we're able to screw it into the 3 pillars there. But yeah, just going to make that now. Okay, right, now we've got our depth set for our lip, and now I'm going to cut the lip for the control cavity plate to sit on. Right, don't want to chew out so much, so I've set the router on a nice low speed, and let's go for it. Okay, let's check that, see how deep that is. Perfect. Yes. Yeah, perfect. Good job. Need to make a new plate for that to go over. Right, yes, I have changed jumper. That is because it is a new day. It got a little bit too late to be doing routing, and Katie, my wife, asked me to politely stop. It's a new day. What we're going to do now is route the hole for the battery pack. So yeah, here we have the 9-volt battery box for our 9-volt battery. Funny that. Bang. Now what we need to do is route a little section for that to sit in, which I've pre-marked and pre-made a template for. And then after that, we will need to work out a way to get from this cavity into this cavity without damaging the body. So I'll have to drill a hole through the back here into this one, but that's quite easy to do. As I said before, I've pre-made a template, which is here, and I am now going to super glue it down. Done. Right, next thing we need to do is work out how deep we need to go with our router. So what we're going to do is get our calipers, and we want to go down to this mark here, all the way down to there. So what I want to do is put that on there and just bring the caliper down, and that gives me a reading of 18mm. Right, so knowing that I've got to go down 18mm, I'm just going to set the depth on my router, change my router bit to the right one, and yeah, get routing. Right, so I've got my depth set. We're going to do just the first pass. Right. Cool, so I seem to have got to depth with the template on. I now need to take the template off and recalibrate the depth of the router just so that I don't go too deep. Right, so where's the cable? There we go. Stick them in, go down. We have gone so far 13 minutes. We need to go another 5 minutes. That's good to know. We haven't gone too far. So yeah, I need to recalibrate my router now to starting at this depth. I now need to go back down another 18. Right, 48. So when I put that in, yeah, see I'm already quite far down. Right, now that that's done, we need to make sure that this fits into the deck. Hey, look at that. Cushy, lovely fit that is. Right, try to get this out again. Next thing, we need to drill a hole through here. Probably go in through this bit because it's already had a lot of wood taken out. Straight into this cavity. Right, so we can remove that for now. And what we're going to want next is our long 6mm drill bit and a drill. Where's my drill? There's my drill. Now I've got to work out which way I want to go. I think the easiest way is to come in from here. We're quite close to the top. And then come in at this angle. I should be good. Right. So here we go. Yay, we're through. Bring the hole out. And we have access to our battery. Next we need to look at cutting a hole for our switch. What we want to do is just get the cover that's going to be on there and just draw on the inside where the switch is going to be, and then again we want to draw a little dot where the screws are going to go, because we're going to hit that with like a 1.5mm screw bit. So if you can see that, that is screw, screw, switch hole. So yeah, we need to cut that out. I'm probably going to do that with a really fine drill bit and then get at it with some small files. Okay, so I've got a 3mm drill bit. I'm just going to concentrate on doing the hole for the switch at the moment. What I want to do is get the drill bit right in the middle. Right about there. Right, 3, 2, 1. Hold the body in place. Okay, so we just got a very, very small chisel. And as it's so thin, I can literally just push that middle bit away. Like that. There we go. There's a little hole. Now I'm going to get some tiny little files. I'm just going to break through it. There we go. Nice little. Okay, right, that's now done. The switch, it fits in really nice. Only just pokes through, but that's kind of how I wanted it, because I didn't want it to get in the way when you're playing. So it's just kind of a little switch there. Now I'm going to use a really tiny little drill bit, a little 1.5mm drill bit, and drill the holes for the two teeny tiny little screws to go into. Little 1.5mm drill bit there. Okay, we want to make sure that we get these dead straight. Okay. This one. Maybe jump, I did. That's two, right. Now let's see if we can get it screwed in. Okay, right, that's the switch in. On, off, on, off. And I really like the way it's kind of just really subtle there, you know. All you can really see is a couple of screws and a little switch. Yeah, I really like that. So when you're standing and playing, you just like, and then you've got the switch that you can just hit with your thumb. Like that. Might try and slightly countersink these two little screws if I can, just so they're not so like annoying on your thumb and they disappear. We have a switch. I'll have to chop that off to put that through the hole, which will come out there, go into our battery. Then this will come through the hole, out of there, and then I will split it onto each light. And there we have it. Light up alien eyes with a button. Okay, right, that's going to be it for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. We successfully managed to enlarge the rear control cavity and then add a cavity for our battery to go into. Between now and the next video, I'm going to be doing all the fine sanding on the guitar, preparing it for the spray. So what that means is that I will be sanding the entire body up from an 80 grit all the way up to a 320 grit, going through an 80, then a 120, then a 240, then a 320. Every inch of the body will get sanded and then it will be ready for spray time. Again, thanks very much for tuning in today. We've had some great progression and I'm looking forward to next time when we get to spray it and get some colour on it. The colour that I've bought for it is pretty vibrant and I hope it works, but I'm sure it's going to be awesome, especially when the lights light up. We also need to look at getting the perspex covers for the light sockets, which I will do between now and the next video. But thanks very much again for tuning in. If you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up button. And if you're not already a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. A big percentage of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed. So this is a new channel and I'm trying to grow. So if you could do me a favor, just hit that subscribe button. All I'm going to be bringing you is awesome guitar customization content. So yeah, please do. Again, thanks for watching. Peace and love.